Some songs fade as quickly as they appear, but 7 by Jungkook wasn't just a debut, it was an explosion. Even 2 years later, the impact is still being felt. How often does a summer release continue to ripple far beyond the season? With its chart-topping dominance and worldwide obsession, 7 wasn't merely a solo debut, it was Jungkook's declaration to the world. As a fan, it struck like lightning. When Jungkook released 7 in July 2023, it was like witnessing a phoenix's rise, except this phoenix had Calvin Klein abs and a voice like silk. It wasn't just a single, it was the dawn of a solo era built on independence and pure talent. The moment it hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, it was clear this wasn't just another K-pop crossover, it was the rebirth of a legend. I can still remember the chills from the first listen. The song didn't just chart, it left a beautiful scar. Jungkook didn't take this flight alone, he brought Latto with him, blending his smooth Korean vocals with her sharp American rap. That combination was instant magic. 7 debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making Jungkook the second K-pop soloist ever to top the chart, just months after Jimin achieved the same with Like Crazy. This wasn't just personal, it was cultural history. As a fan, it felt like the world was finally catching up to what we already knew. Each BTS member is an unstoppable force on their own. The release date, July 14, 2023, should honestly be a holiday for ARMY. 7 wasn't just a catchy hit, it ignited the entire golden album era. From that moment, I knew bigger things were coming, and I was right. From 3D, with Jack Harlow to Standing Next to You, Jungkook kept raising the bar, but it all started with 7, that perfect blend of pop and hip-hop that refused to leave your head. What really stands out is the radio play, real, mainstream US radio play. 7 broke into the top 20 of Billboard's pop airplay chart, a rare feat for a Korean-language track led by a K-pop artist. This wasn't just ARMY streaming non-stop, casual listeners were hooked too. That's why 7 became timeless. It wasn't just a fan favorite, it was a global cultural moment that ruled radios, playlists, and TikTok trends. Even now, people still hum that chorus. Digital dominance is one thing, but Jungkook proved true pop icons can conquer every arena. Streaming, of course. Sales, sky high. But radio success, that's a rare treasure in K-pop. Jungkook cracked the formula, blending sound, charisma, and soul. And it wasn't luck. The song still appears on global charts today, proof it's become an emotional anchor in listeners' lives. It didn't just reach the top, it built a permanent home there. Globally, 7 was a phenomenon. It hit #1 on both the Billboard Global 200 and Global EXCL US charts. That's not just popularity, that's worldwide domination. From Seoul to Sao Paulo to Santiago, someone nearby was streaming it. Even after the US charts moved on, the rest of the world kept it alive. That kind of staying power doesn't happen by chance. It takes charm, skill, and a hook you can't forget. Jungkook delivered all three flawlessly. One of the song's greatest strengths was its genre fluidity. It didn't fit neatly into K-pop, R&B, or hip-hop. Instead, it moved between them effortlessly, just like Jungkook himself. This made it feel both international and deeply personal. That's part of why it connected so strongly. It was polished yet emotional, universal yet intimate. You could cry to it, dance to it, or fall in love to it, all in one listen. That's true pop power. Beyond the numbers, 7 reshaped Jungkook's public image. It showcased a more mature, sensual, and confident side of him that had always been there but now had its own soundtrack. He wasn't just the youngest BTS member anymore, he was the star attraction. Watching his live performances was like seeing a lion take control of his own jungle, no longer needing a pack to show his strength. Andrew Choi even praised him, saying Jungkook's vocal skills were 11 out of 10. And when Jungkook caught a mistake in Choi's own os that no one else noticed, it showed just how sharp his musical ear really is. He's not just a performer, he's an artist, a perfectionist, always learning and improving. That's the kind of energy that turns a hit into a legacy. Jungkook's rise with 7 was about more than just the song, it was about unstoppable momentum. Every chart climb, every YouTube reaction, every award nomination built up the moment. And it all felt genuine, never forced. I watched armies from all over the world counting down, streaming nonstop, and celebrating together. It was a movement. Through it all, Jungkook stayed grounded, humble, and quietly powerful. That's what made it so special. It was massive success, but it was still him. And the song aged like fine wine. Most hits fade after a few months, but 2 years later, 7 is still on reels, gym playlists, wedding videos, you name it. It became a lifestyle anthem. That's the highest praise any song can get, when it stops being just music and becomes part of real life. Jungkook didn't just create a track, he created memories. Those don't fade with chart positions. Every time I hear 7, it feels brand new. Not just because of its flawless production, but because it reminds me of where K-pop is headed. We're past the era of trying to break into the West, we're in the era of owning it. Jungkook's success passed the torch to future idols, showing them they don't have to think small. That kind of confidence is contagious. When one artist soars, the entire culture rises. And Jungkook's wings are massive. Even today, new listeners are discovering 7 and falling in love as if it just dropped. That's the magic of a timeless song. It reinvents itself for each person who hears it. Whether you came for the addictive beat, the flawless vocals, or Latto's verse, there's always a new layer to appreciate. I truly believe 7 will be remembered decades from now, not just for its records, but for the way it made people feel. It was more than a hit, it was a moment, a movement, and a memory all in one. And if 7 was just the beginning, then whatever comes next is going to